Guys, I'm Hyperion, and today I just want to show you guys some tips and tricks for Trailmakers. Maybe if you're just starting out, or if you want to get a little bit more advanced, if you've already played for a while. Let's get started. Let's go. So the first one I want to show you guys is probably one of the more unique ones. I don't know, I haven't seen this in a lot of builds that other people have done, but it's using this kind of like glass texture and decals. And so you can make kind of an effect where if you need to connect something that you can't usually connect, then it's good for that. And if you look from a little bit further away, it's not as visible in build mode, but you can see it looks a little bit more like one cohesive structure. If you go into F5 here, and yeah, that's kind of cool. And you can also use it to make parts of your build transparent, so if you do need to connect something and you don't want that connection to be something that's super visible, then you can use like the glass like this. The next one is using like hinge and piston glitching. This build in particular is not a great example of either of these, just because it doesn't doesn't use as much of the glitching part of it. This is more of just like using it to get a position that you want. So if I spawn it in here, you can see I have these pistons both set to be a low starting position, so when I spawn it in, it'll be like slightly out, just so that I get that little bit of extra room in here, so I don't have to, it makes it a bit more stable and I don't have to deal with actually glitching it into the block. Glitching here is pretty much the same thing. I just have it set so that it angles these little like missile launcher tubes downwards, and it just looks cool. It's more accurate to like the real thing. Sometimes it gets a little jittery still, but I really don't know why. It's weird. But yeah. Also, the next one is like kind of just texturing your builds. This is like a good build to kind of show it on is on like kind of more military style builds, but also just tanks in general, is to use these like connector pieces, maybe as like makeshift armor. Not real armor, just it doesn't really probably help you that much to have these on your vehicle, but they're low complexity and just give some texture to your build, which looks cool. And using decals to do pretty much the same thing. They look like rivets. These ones are just, it's this like hexagon thingy. It's just like the top row of them, and I have it sized up quite a bit, so it just looks like little like hex nuts or something, whatever. It's cool. Now these ones are a little bit more common use, is using these. You can use sensors, you can use any of like these logic sensor gates, just because they don't have connectors on one side of them, so you can use them kind of as like non-stick if you're trying to like move around a structure. You can see here I have it on an aiming servo, and on these corners usually these would connect to each other and it wouldn't let me move my vehicle, or it wouldn't let me move my turret. But since I have them, they're essentially disconnected. You can see if I remove this thing, you can see that whole assembly kind of disconnects from my vehicle, which is what you want. You want that to be the only connection point. Also, if you don't want to like raise up, if you're using like a turret and you don't want to raise it up a block, you can just carve out the area underneath. It's pretty not noticeable when you're spawned in. It's easy to mask and it makes your builds look pretty cool. You know? That is pretty much it though. I don't know why that always happens. Like, when you click on stuff sometimes, it just like moves it. I don't know, like right there. I don't know. It's weird, might be calibration issue or something. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I might do like a part 2 to this as well. I have some other tips and stuff. That's about it though. I'll see you guys next time.